has been very, very wrong. I just did an interview on 3AW, and everyone in the community is affected by this. Most importantly, the farmers will have a 100% increase in the first year in relation to fire service levy. Residential properties will go from $191 to $254. Commercial properties will go from $800 to around $1,400. And most importantly, I understand your anger, but please, we're here today to send a message. The message is reverse the tax, put it on hold. It is wrong. Now, we've got a number of speakers today, but I want to say one thing before we do. Each and every one of you are emergency service workers. You actually give your time to protect life and property. And it is so wrong that the government actually raise a tax in your good name, because this is not about you, it's about retiring state debt, and that is wrong. Now, each and every one of you, when it comes time, you will put your life on the line to save life and property, and you need more respect. Not only is this tax wrong, it's $5 billion that will be ripped from the community to retire debt. Last week, there was absolutely no deficit, there was no surplus. All of a sudden you have a $500 million surplus in this budget. Where did it come from? This tax. Yesterday there was announcements in relation to free transport. They weren't there the day before. Where did it come from? It came from this tax. Everything in this budget, if there's any free things that come out or any concessions, it's coming out of this tax. Now, each and every one of you give your life and you actually take your time to make sure that you protect your community. And what you need to do that is equipment. You need trucks. You need breathing apparatus. You need rolling replacement programs. Now, the token statements are being talked about volunteer concessions. That is rubbish. It will never see the light of day. The so-called concessions for farmers, that is rubbish. To be able to apply it through the bureaucracy, you will never see that take the light of day. So what we're asking here as a community that's come together from all walks of life, and indeed we've had our differences in the past, is that what we're saying very clearly to this government and the crossbenchers who voted for it, you have got it wrong. Please represent us in the way you should, and that is look after the community. Do not bail out a government that's actually spent too much money, because that's what this is about. You know, I want to applaud your discipline, and I also want to applaud the Victoria Police. They have worked hand in fist with us over the last couple of days to make sure that you could have a rally this size. Now, what we have to do, a big round of applause to them. I'll let Andrew say a few words because he's our co-coordinator on this. But what I want you to make sure you do, you are highly respected. The most respected profession in the community, time and time again. Do not damage that reputation, because what we want today is this tax to be put on hold. We want it to be rescinded. We want a parliamentary inquiry, and we certainly don't want farmers being pushed to the brink where they can no longer do it any longer. We do not want rents going up. We do not want commercial enterprises folding because of this increased tax. Now, let's call it what it is. It is a tax. It is not about emergency service workers or volunteers. It's about retiring dirt. It's about retiring debt. So come clean on that. We're asking for one thing. You're the government of the day. What you're seeing, every walk of life, every industry, residential, commercial, regional, primary production are all affected by this tax. And I'll say the last thing before I introduce the other speakers. Thank you for coming together. Some of you are left there at 1 a.m. in the morning to come and have your say. Some of you have actually given up your day where you could be doing other things to come and have your say. The very least we could have from the government is that on the budget day, where they talk about a $500 million surplus, please call that for what it is. It's being paid through this tax. Thank you very much. I'll introduce the speakers. Remain strong, remain disciplined. It's not just one protest. There'll be a continuing activities along the way to make sure we get that parliamentary inquiry. And what can be done? It could be actually put a moratorium. Do not give it royal assent. And again, once again, I thank the Victoria Police for their tolerance in making sure we could come together. I'll hand it over to Andrew, and then what we will do, we'll listen to speakers who will tell their story about how they're affected by this tax. I'll say it one more time, not in our name. This is not about volunteer and emergency service workers. It's about retiring debt. Call it for what it is, and that's what it is. Thank you very much.
They are taxing the people to destroy us! Unconstitutional government!
Thanks, Peter.
Illegitimate government!
Thanks, Peter. I'm going to just say a few opening remarks and then come back at the end to wrap this thing up. But there's no doubt that working side by side, yes, strange bedfellows with the UFU, but by hell, we're standing together here today with everybody from right across Victoria, everybody here in Melbourne, we're standing here together today. I'm also very proud to stand here today to introduce to you the leaders of the coalition here in Victoria, to make a very special announcement, I believe, to the communities here of Victoria as well. Clearly that comes about from a lot of hard work in the background, and all those people that have come last week, the week before here to Melbourne, pushed the trains. Goodness me, who would have thought the trains this morning being stopped coming into Melbourne from all sides? I wonder why that happened. Buses being stopped on the bridges, and now we've got a few other issues. I would actually, just as one housekeeping, I know Region 18, those trucks are yours on those streets. Could you please move them, just so that we can get that traffic through for the moment? We know what's going to happen after the rally, but please, for the moment, move them where you need to move them so that we're not holding up the city. Okay, now I'd like to very warm welcome to the leader of the Liberal Party, the coalition here in Victoria, Brad Batten.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and I'm standing here with Danny O'Brien, the leader of the Nationals, and many of my colleagues from the Liberals and Nationals.
Have you sworn your oaths?
I acknowledge exactly what Peter said when he spoke about trucks and equipment, but there's one thing you missed off the list. You cannot fight a fire without people. And it's the people in this crowd that are farmers that have come across the state to stand up against this rotten tax. And we know we've got a government with tunnel vision. All money going into one project, and they're going to tax each and every Victorian. And that is why we are listening. And we've been out and speaking to you, and I will make the commitment to you that if we are elected on November next year, the Victorian Liberals will scrap that tax and hand that money back to Victorians. Each and every Victorian deserves the right to know what the difference is when you get to that election. You've asked for what's the difference between Liberal and Labor. What is the difference between the Communist and the Labor Party? We will ensure that we cancel this tax and ensure our volunteers in the SES, in the CFA and all other industries are supported. You will get the backing you need. We will make sure we will scratch this tax if we are elected, but the fight starts now. It starts now. This is that line in the sand moment for each and every one of you. We will go around the regions. I'll go to every metropolitan town and remind people, if you want change, you have to vote Liberal and Nationals to get that change. This tax should not go through. We voted against it last week. We fought all night. The Allan Labor government kept us here all evening because they needed this tax to come on to all of you. We will guarantee you that it will come off, and we will scrap that tax once and for all at the next election in 2022. Thank you.